What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. As always, I give about 3 minutes to get up in here. So, welcome. As you guys probably see, I'm changing up my whole style now, right? I'm just I'm coming on when it hits me. So that's the best times to come on, really. That's when my best work happens, when it just hits me, and then I share it with you guys. No notice, no previous notice. Just hopefully these alerts get out here. Actually, I can actually share it too. Let me share it. Let me make sure. So just in case. Dashboard. I don't know if it's going to show my live. Hopefully it'll get out there for everybody to. Nope, I still don't see it. Okay. Change it to that. Going on. About a minute and 30 seconds in. Sorry, this was just this is unannounced. Again, my whole style is going to be switched up. Okay, it's going to be really random, except for you members only. You guys will know when I come on. You guys will get random uploads, and the members only. When things hit to me for members only, I don't really feel like come on to live. I'll just upload it into the members only area. Okay. What's up, Nicer? What's up, Reese? What's going on? But as far as the free side, what's up, Mike? Mike Rambo. For the free side, it's just going to be random. It really is going to be random. But lives are always going to be scheduled in the members only. The only thing that's going to be random inside the members only is my upload members only videos. Okay, those will be random because sometimes I'll just record them and get them up there, just like that last one I told you, I shared with you guys about me finally knowing the real reason why I quit my job, right? Because that answer will only make sense to you guys. Okay, that kind of answer won't even make any kind of sense to the people outside the members only group, right? It just wouldn't even make any sense. So that's why I don't even share it like that. It's almost like a waste. Okay, we're almost 3 minutes in. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody believes in credit and debt and finance and everything that goes down in value and still can't figure out why they're living paycheck to paycheck. They just cannot figure out why, right? That's where I lived for the first 40 years of my life until I woke up one day and I found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically said, "Hey, you know the math that you learned in grade school?" I said, "Well, yeah." He said, apply that to your personal finances and you'll win with money." And that's exactly what I did. Okay. Now, I didn't need any of his programs. I just said, "Oh, I just use math on my finances." Yeah, that's it, right? But other people can't really see it that simply as I could. I guess I was blessed in that way. I know it sounds simple, but if that was the case, we would have no economy if everybody could see math the way I see it, right? So what I do is I expose what I call the glitches in the debt matrix. All right. The glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, but you just continue to do them. That's, to translate, it's called cognitive dissonance. Okay. All right. Let me give you a couple examples so you can understand if this is you, right? If you have a 30-year mortgage and you believe you're a homeowner, that's a glitch, because you know that's not mathematically true, but yet you believe it. That's part of the cognitive dissonance. You can see, hey, I didn't really have any money to buy that house, so I had to borrow it. That means it's not my house, right? But yet you're calling yourself a homeowner when you're not. Okay. Or when you go to the car lot and you finance a car for 84 months and you drive off the lot really believing that you got it for the sale price. That doesn't even make sense. If you just do the mathematics, you would be like, oh yeah, I didn't really get it for that price that I saw the sticker price. I got it for this at the end of the 84-month contract. That was my sale price. See what I'm saying? What's up, Toronto? See that? And so those are the glitches. And one day when you wake up, you're just like, oh, and when I say wake up, the wake up day is when you trust your own math. The day you trust your own math, I consider that waking up. Okay. That's how you'll know. Oh, wow. Okay. I just trust my math and I get out. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now, also what you don't understand is that people in debt, they have a pattern. Okay. And if you're a person in debt right now and you've been in debt all your life and you always thought debt was just part of life, I promise you have a pattern. Only people in debt have a pattern. You know what that pattern is? They don't trust mathematics. That's the pattern. That's the pattern. If you trusted mathematics, right? If you trusted mathematics, you would never finance a cell phone ever. Never in a million years would you do that. And sure in the hell, you would never finance a car. No way, Jose, at all. Never in your life you'll catch the bus if you just did the math on a financed car. If you financed a watch, if you finance an iPhone with a matching watch, if you trusted math, you would never do that ever. That's your pattern. People in debt don't make mathematical sense when it comes to money. That's their pattern. And the best part about it all, they don't know it. They don't even know they don't trust math. Okay. Now, the title of this video is called Unconscious Slaves. Okay. Because unconscious slaves, man, you have no idea what is being done to you. You guys have not a clue. You're totally unconscious. You just don't know. You're walking around believing the credit gods, Experian, TransUnion, without credit reports and credit scores, you're nothing, and all this other stuff. You guys just believe it all. You just believe it. When all you got to do is just stop and do the math, you'd be like, wait a minute, that doesn't even make any sense. I know it doesn't. Business wise, it does, but mathematically, no, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. But if you get on the business side of things, it would make total sense. Long as you're on the correct side of that equation. But you guys are not. You guys are unconscious slaves. If you believe carrying a student loan longer than going to college, you are an unconscious slave. You don't even know you are. Even though somebody could sit down and do the math with you and say, hey, this is what it adds up. This is what your college costs. If you add this all up plus 20 years, this is how much your college costs you as an individual. If you looked at that and saw that, you would clearly see that makes absolutely no mathematical sense. But yet you guys continue to go ahead and finance a house on top of that, finance a car on top of that, like a freaking pancake. And wondering why you're not getting anywhere. Those are unconscious slaves. Now, there's different levels, though. There's different levels. There's the semi-conscious slaves. You guys are walking around there wondering what's going on. You just can't figure out. You're walking around. You just can't figure. You can't put your finger on it. You're just like, damn, I just can't get financially ahead. But nobody around me has the answers that I'm looking for. I'm telling you, I'm talking to you because I was you one time. I had some questions that needed answering, but nobody around me could answer them. You know why they can't answer you? Because they're in debt. Those are unconscious slaves. You are semi-conscious slaves. You know, you are those semi-conscious slaves where, remember back when you were in school and right after math, plus minus, and then you start getting into calculus and trigonometry, and you probably kept saying to yourself, am I ever going to use this in the real world? The answer is no. No, you're not. I have no idea why they teach that. It makes absolutely no sense, but you don't even need it, especially when it comes to money. Don't even need it. You're exactly right. Hey, am I going to use this type of math in the real world? Nope. No, you're not. Nope. Don't even need it. The only math you need is the math we learned in grade school. I'm your answer, semi-conscious slaves. I know you're out there. I know you're out there. You're probably thinking, damn, every time I get a higher paying job, man, I still seem to be in the same situation. I just can't put my finger on it. Yeah, I'm here. I'm the answer. I'm trying to tell you what it is. I know you're walking around bumping your head. You think at a certain age you're supposed to have a house, and you're really probably thinking, wait a minute, well, I don't really have any money for a house, but everybody around me seems to be getting houses, but I know I don't have any money for a house. So what should I? No, you shouldn't copy them. No, those are unconscious slaves. Only unconscious slaves believe they're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage. 30 years? You got to be really, really, totally unconscious to believe that if you got a 20-year-old student loan, you're going to pay off a 30-year house. No, you're not. That is unconscious. Cognitive dissonance. When you clearly see something that is true, like mathematics, and you still don't believe it, that's what that is. Atticus says, speak on the pattern part. Atticus, this is the pattern. Okay, and I went on for a minute, but the pattern is people in debt don't trust mathematics. People in debt have no idea. None of anything they do in financial in life makes any mathematical sense at all. None of what they're doing makes any mathematical sense, and they don't even know it. Don't even know it. For example, here's the pattern part, okay? So you guys can understand. So you guys can, you unconscious slaves, not you. I'm not talking directly to you, Atticus, but I want you unconscious slaves to understand something, okay? So you can see, so you can understand that you're unconscious. If you have $50,000 in student loan debt and you have $5,000 cash in your hand, if you do the math, 5,000 minus 50,000 is negative 45,000. Negative. That's what math says. That's negative. That means the $5,000 in your hand doesn't even exist. But if you choose, and here's your pattern. If you choose to take that $5,000 and invest it in something outside of you, stock markets, gold, silver, whatever, that's mathematically incorrect. That's what you just did is mathematically impossible. You cannot invest negative dollars, but if you believe you can, your whole financial tree is going to be all the way off, totally off, totally off. It's never going to be right. Black Hannah says 777 says, first time catching this while not driving the truck. Thank you for opening the conversation. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Let me try to catch up here. Nice video in Discord, LJ. Oh, yeah. Nice. It says, now's the time to get straight answers to your questions. Now's the time. If you want answers to your questions. Last conversation. Thank you for pointing out that if you're not in debt, there is no real emergency fund. I was having a problem with that at this point, not anymore. Yeah. And see, when you think about that, Black Hannah, your mind makes it more difficult than what the whole thing is. It makes it more, all you got to just do the math And then all you got to do is believe your own math. Once you believe your own math, there's nothing else really to even think about. It really isn't. It's nothing to think about. As soon as you see the math, you'd be like, "Oh, that's what I'm worth." Yeah, you're worth negative $200,000. You're worth negative $50,000. If you walk around and really let that sink in, knowing that you're walking around on Earth and job and doing all, going out and having fun, going to Vegas, getting on road trips and vacations here and doing this, and you know you're negative $50,000, and that's how much you're worth. And every time you go and spend something on a vacation, you know you're digging yourself deeper than $50,000. You let that sink in, it'll change your whole, it'll wake you up. You will no longer be an unconscious slave. Atticus says, agreed, LJ. They don't even keep a running tally of their spending. It doesn't even matter. No student loan debt for me. Thank goodness. Thank God. Man, that's the worst. People, you know what? Let me tell you, you semi-unconscious slaves. I'm gonna share something with you. If you don't have student loan debt, you have no idea how far financially ahead you are of millions of people. Millions of people. Okay, don't get off of that. Oh my God, I'm nobody. They went to college, I didn't. No, they're not telling you something. Okay, they're not telling you that they still have their student loans from college. They're not telling you that their student loans are older than their children. Oh yeah, they might have a house, but when they try and press you with a house, this is what I want you to ask them. Hey, do you still have your student loans? If they say yes, you better not follow anything they do ever, because you will be just like them. That is a front that you see. Those houses and cars, those are fronts. All you got to do, ask anybody with the house you think, a person that has money, somebody has a nice car. You go, hey man, when I want you to ask, hey, do you still have student loans? If they say yes, all that stuff you see is an illusion. That is an illusion. That'll hopefully wake up some of you unconscious slaves, because let me tell you something, man. You guys have no idea how dangerous it is to walk around here as an unconscious slave. You guys have no idea how dangerous that is. That's dangerous. An unconscious person, an unconscious debt slave. Don't even know you're in debt. Don't even know you live there. That's a dangerous place to be. That's a very dangerous place to be. Because you guys, I keep telling you, you unconscious slaves, you guys have a pattern. I'm going to tell you your pattern. You don't trust math. That's your pattern. And that really didn't come to me just till recently, because I knew people in debt had a pattern, but I just didn't know how to describe it to you guys. You know, it's very difficult to to describe something to an unconscious slave, right? It's very difficult, but math is absolute. Even an unconscious slave has to believe the numbers. And if they don't believe their own math, if they don't, okay, so if somebody adds up all their savings, add up all their debt, and you see that you're in a negative, and you know for a fact that you did the math yourself, and you still don't believe that that's how much you're worth on this earth, you are an unconscious slave. What's up, Jewel? Atticus says, I confess, LJ, I have a $290 credit card bill that I'm paying next week. It was the only card I had when I went to the supermarket recently. Other than that, I'm clean. Hey, man, I got more than that on my credit card right now, too. I got a few thousand on it. It don't matter how much you put on it, as long as it's gone by the end of the month. Shout out to Mike for the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir, as always. Where'd I go? Okay. Can someone get addicted to? Let's see. Did I read this one, Black-handed? Can some people be addicted to debt like an alcoholic? Some people get out completely and get back in with some sort of payment. You know, you gotta. Black-handed. This is a mental thing, and when you're in debt, you don't know. People mean you. You got to understand, when it comes to money, Words have definite meanings. Okay, definite. You know, like in the regular world, hey, you say, oh, you're bad, like you're bad in something, or you can say, oh, you're bad, and like that bad means hot. But when you come over to the when you start talking using words when it comes to money, you got to use words that mean, and you got to know exactly what those words mean, not what you heard they mean, what they mean. Because when a person says, "Hey man, I was debt free once, but then I got back in," no, that means you were never in debt. You know why? Because once you get out of debt, there is no going back. There is no reason. There will be no emergency car. It will be nothing. No, nothing. Nothing will make you go back into debt. That's why when I hear people say that, they don't know. They're not talking about the same version of get out of debt as I am. No, they're not. Because I promise you, once I show you the way out, I promise you, you will never go back. Nothing will make you. Nothing. Is it like an alcoholic? No, it's a conditioned mindset. When I say these things to you, I'm telling you guys something. I'm just, hey, but in the bigger scheme of things, oh yeah, we must have slaves. Okay, that's necessary. It's necessary for people to finance watches and clothes and shoes and cars. That's an absolute necessary. Because without slaves, none of this would work. I keep saying that, especially the unconscious slaves. When you got millions of unconscious slaves that don't even know they're slaves, man, that's like gold within itself. That's gold. That's better than gold. Random verities for verity. Wow, I didn't know you were doing this. So sorry. Focus my channel. Sorry, focus my channel. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, I didn't know you were doing this. Sorry. Thanks for helping me with my dreams, LJ. You have changed my life. Thank you. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that, man. That's my mission. I hope you guys can feel that that's my mission too. I hope you guys can feel I'm not just saying that, and I want people to read what he just said too. It's like, people don't tell other people that you've changed your life. That doesn't happen by accident. And I'm not bragging, because I'm sharing something that's very valuable. This is very valuable. This will change your life forever, man. Forever. Gabriel, this is 20. You know why it's 2020, Gabriel? It's 2020 vision. It's for those of us who can see. Now, you're young, Gabriel, but this is what I want you to do, man. You know what you got to do? You got to stop worrying about why they can't see. Okay? Because there's people looking for you, Gabriel. But if you focused on them, for the people that are not the blind, the unconscious slaves, man, you ain't gonna have no energy. You're not gonna be vibing at the right vibration for those other people to know you are there to help them. If you keep focusing on the slaves, we need those slaves, man. You can't do nothing about it. They're gonna keep financing phones and cars and matching watches and all that stupid nonsense. Right now is the time. If you're a slave, unconscious slave, semi-conscious slave, or maybe you even want to know if you're a slave. You probably don't even know, and you want to find out. Right here is when you find out. Right now, you get to find out for free. I'll give you advice, I'll give you financial advice that no one will ever in any other channel on YouTube will share with you. And it's just basic math. I'm not even doing anything. Nobody can ever say the advice I'm giving you is wrong. It's going to always be right. Anybody you share this information with, this on this channel, you could share with the best of the best. You know what they're going to say? He's right. His math is right. That's all you want to hear too. When you take it to another so-called expert, just share this video with them, right? This is what I want after they're done listening to him, after they're done listening to me, okay? They might not like me, what I'm saying, or whatever. Just look at the way he sounds, cocky, whatever. Those are feelings. Get through all that stuff. At the end of the conversation, you ask them, is everything with everything he's saying, is his math correct? They're gonna tell you yes. And this what I also want you to do too. This is what I want you to do yourself. Add up all your savings and add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life, right? And then I want you to go see your financial professional. All right. Knowing that you're in the negative. Knowing that you're in the negative. And then I want you to go see your financial professional and say, hey man, where should I be investing? Okay. And then they're going to tell you whatever they're going to tell you, right? And then you're going to show them that large negative number. And I want you to say this to them. How am I able to invest when I'm negative $200,000 in the hole, when I'm negative $50,000 in the hole, when I'm negative $20,000 in the hole? How do I invest with this negative number? There is no answer because that's mathematically impossible. And then you make them explain. You say, then if that's the case, whose money is that I'm investing with? Not yours. It's not yours because you have none. I just told you. You can't earn interest off stocks when you have no money. That's math. That's a mathematical illusion. You can't earn interest in the stock market when your finances are in a negative. That's mathematically impossible. I can show you. If you still don't believe what I'm telling you, knowing my math is true, you're an unconscious slave. Those of you that believe you're getting a 401k match on your 401k, add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. That's how much money you have to match anything in the whole United States of America. How can you match 6% of negative? You can't. You're not matching anything. That's a mathematical illusion. That's your pattern. You can't invest. You cannot invest in retirement when you have $50,000 of student loan debt. That's mathematically impossible. But if you still believe you can, you are an unconscious slave. What's up, Fred? Mustafa, what's going on? I mean, it's going to change people to get out of debt. No, the majority of people in debt right now, Gabriel, the last thing they're thinking is about getting out of debt. They're trying to survive, man. The whole world is changing. I feel sorry for unconscious slaves. You guys, let me tell you something. Unconscious slaves. You guys have no idea what's really happening. You have no clue. It wouldn't even matter if I told you. It really won't matter. Even if I told you, you can't see it. You know why you can't see it? Because it doesn't make mathematical sense to you. It doesn't make mathematical sense to you. It never will. You're in debt. You guys have no idea what's really happening. Not a clue. Long story short, the brand new economy is starting. Brand new, brand spanking new. It goes right along with the brand new the revamp of the tax system. It just caught up with it. That's all. Now they go together like link and chain. Believe that. But if you're in debt, especially you unconscious slaves talking about, oh man, I can't wait till things get back to normal. I can't wait to get back to normal. You guys have no idea. You're telling everybody you're a slave when you say things like that out loud on Facebook, Instagram. I can't wait till things get back to normal. Guess what? They're never going back to that ever. And your normal wasn't even real in the first place. Now you're going to have to come up with a new normal for you. That's gone forever. That's gone forever. Yeah, I'm just talking about personal debt. I'm not talking about business debt. That is different. Very different. Mustafa said, had a discussion with my brother about our sister's alleged new home because I wasn't excited and attempted to explain why things went left. I was called negative. Exactly. And this is what I was saying, Mustafa. I was saying this the other day in a different video. You have to let debt is the colorblind slave master. It doesn't care your color. See, that's where people get mixed up. They think it has something to do with something like that. It doesn't care your color. It doesn't care your race. It doesn't care. It's the colorblind slave master. All debt sees is green. That's it. Green. Everybody is the majority of people are unconscious slaves. Doesn't matter if it's your sister, brother, wife, husband. I actually feel sorry if somebody's married and one of the spouses wake up and the other one doesn't, you better believe that's going to be grounds for divorce. Believe that. You just gotta, if you want to fit in, Mustafa, you know what you got to do. You just got to go, oh, okay, that's nice. Wow, just you can't say anything about it because they don't know. They have no idea. The last thing you should be doing is buying a house in the middle of a freaking worldwide virus pandemic. Nice says, I won't talk finance with someone who won't talk math. Exactly. No, don't talk. Mustafa says, then he tried to get philosophical under to undermine the facts. Oh gosh. They don't even know. You got to remember, unconscious slaves, they have no idea what they're really trying to do. They're trying to get around mathematics and they don't even know they're trying to get around mathematics. You just want to stop them when they start talking. You just want to stop and say, hey man, anything you say is never going to change the math. So you might as well stop saying that because it's not going to change. They still won't hear you. You can stop them in the middle of their sentence and whatever they're explaining. You can stop them and say, hey, is my math right though? They're always going to have to say yes. And then they're going to go on and continuing ways of how they believe they can get around mathematics when that's impossible. You can't. I do. Slave, the borrower is slave to the lender. I got to make sure I repeat that statement all the time. So because everybody knows that statement is to be true. So they don't get confused when I say slave, thinking of slavery like that. No, I'm not talking about that slavery. The borrower is slave to the lender. Everybody knows that statement. Is that true? Yeah, it's true. Okay, well, if you borrowed money for that phone, you're a slave, right? Yeah, I guess you are. If you borrowed money for that car, you're a slave, correct? Well, yeah. If you got a mortgage on a house for 30 years, you borrowed the money, right? Yeah. You are a slave, correct? Yes. What's up, Cosmic? Arms dealer said, hello, SMD families. I see folks buying homes and cars like it's nothing. All I do is laugh at them. Just laugh. You can tell which ones you already can. When you look on, when I look on social media, I can tell all the unconscious slaves. I can just tell them all. They don't even know what they write on Facebook. They have no idea what they're writing. They're telling the whole world that they are in debt. This is like, okay, you unconscious slaves. I want you guys to listen to me, okay, so you can understand something. Do you Haven't you noticed how many credit repair fixer people are out there right now? I mean, there's like hundreds of them. They're everywhere, like freaking swarming bees. Have you noticed that? They're, you know why that is? Because they're doing nothing for you. They're in the exact same boat as you. You just don't know it because you guys are both unconscious slaves. The only thing they're doing is they're trying to raise your credit score for what? The reason why you want your credit score to get higher is because of what? You want to get into more debt. So here's another unconscious slave that knows a little bit more about the credit repair, whatever stupid nonsense, right? And then since they can do something to raise your credit score a few points, you believe it. So just enough so you can get into more debt. You guys do all the same things. That's your pattern. Your pattern is this: anything and everything you do financially doesn't make mathematical sense. Anything you guys do, because everything starts with you. Everything starts with you. Everything. That's the only way your financial mathematical equation throughout your whole life is ever going to make sense. It all starts with you. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals where you start. So if you added up all your stuff and you had $50,000 worth of debt, that's where you start. Okay, negative 50,000. All right, negative 49,000. Okay, negative 48,000, negative 46, 47,000, 46,000, 45, until you get to zero. Once you get to zero, then and only then will you start to have real money. Until then, you have no money. You're in a negative. Anything you invest in will never add up because you have no money. You're in a negative. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how long your stock's been in here and making this and that and whatever. If your whole portfolio still adds up to negative, you are in the negative, no matter what you're looking at. Hello, CM Training LLC. Welcome. Real estate is getting crazy. Crazy. People are buying homes without inspections or appraisal, giving up all safety nets to get a house, home. Look at that. See what I'm saying? Panicking. Look at him. Just got him. The bank got him into a frenzy. Look at him. You think a woman like Cosmic would skip over all that? Hey, yeah, let's skip over the inspections and appraisals. No, no. Only slaves do that. Only slaves do things like that. Okay. People with money don't do that. Okay. It doesn't. What do you mean skip over inspection? Are you insane? No, we're not. What's up, Andre? Get on the other side of the ledger. For those of you who are slaves, get on the other, get north of zero. Okay. Get north of zero. Don't worry, Cosmic. I'll be there to take care of all that malinvest that malinvestment. Oh man, this is the time. If you got some questions out there, you want to sorry. If you want to ask me any questions, now's your time. Now's the time. Now's the time. This is the only time I answer questions for free. Consultation, 1-hour consultations are $99. Okay. That's just so we can talk. We can talk about anything. That time is yours. Okay. We can talk about anything you want. And then from there, if you need me to help you with, then I'll give you the price of a program to help you. Right now, it's not up on my website. I'm straightening that out. That'll get straightened pretty soon. But I'm just telling you for word right now, because I've had to cancel a few appointments. I've had to stop answer, let people know that I charge for questions now. The funny thing is it's really weaving through the serious people versus just the people that just want to just to be talking. It's crazy. It's crazy to see this. It's like, hey, then they'll list this whole question. Hey man, I saw you on the channel. Hey, what do you think? This, that, this, that, this, that. And I say, hey man, consultation is no longer free. I'll send you an invoice. You want to? Okay, never hear from them again. Okay, yeah, you're just talking. CM Training LLC. I withdrew my 401k to pay off my credit cards. I just have my student loans to pay. Congratulations. Smart move. Smart move. Smart move. No 10% penalty. That money, and plus that money in your 401k wasn't there anyway. So good thing. Good, you stopped the hemorrhaging from credit cards. Congratulations. What's up, Wayman? Cosmo says, Andre, I'm just waiting for them too, just sitting and watching. Darkman says, man, it seems that all these lenders are puppet masters at this point. Yes, people are in unconscious slaves are in panic. Hey, and you semi-conscious slaves, listen to me, okay? You're probably really in a panic right now. You can't, but you still don't have anybody to ask because all the slaves around you are really panicking. Focus in on your math. Okay? If you got in a house, say like before all this happened, and you got in a house, and you now are realizing that you got the wrong type of loan, you'll never be able to pay off this house. Now is the time to admit that to yourself. Right now is the time. Right now is the time to say, you know what? I bought this house wrong. I just lost my job. Right now is the time to say, you know what? I got in over my head. Okay. Chapter 7 bankruptcy is a tool. That's a legal tool. Okay. I wouldn't tell you to do anything illegal. I just want you to evaluate your those options. So don't listen to the unconscious slaves when you start talking about chapter 7 bankruptcy, not 13. Chapter 13 are for the slaves. Okay. This is what unconscious slaves do with chapter 13, so you don't get them confused. Unconscious slaves will look down on bankruptcy, but they'll go and secretly go get chapter 13 bankruptcy. That way they get to keep all the depreciating stuff so they don't look like they're bad with money, even though they know they are because they filed chapter 13 bankruptcy, right? But they're still in debt. But you can't tell that something happened to them because they get to keep all the depreciating stuff. So they think. They get to keep doing it over and over and over again. You get chapter 7 and you will be free. You will be free. Right now is the time to get over hey, I lost my job. What about my skills? This and that and blah. Hey, now is the time to get out of debt. What's up, Quentin? What's going on? Another beautiful day in South Carolina. It was most definitely a beautiful day today. Sure was. Shout out to New 580 for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you. I have $30,000 in savings. I'm 26 with no debts. Have an older car. Should I get a nice used car but in good shape, or get a newer car and make payments? All right. Most definitely, you don't ever finance a car ever. Don't ever say that out loud, that you even consider that. Okay. Don't even say things like that. That's number one. All right. Congratulations to having no debt and $30,000 in the bank. This is what I want you to, I'm going to show you something that you can't see, because I can tell by the way you're asking me this question. There are millions of people in debt right now. Okay. Millions of people are unemployed. Go look for the car you want. Say like the car you're looking for now is a let's say it's half of what you got now. $15,000 car, whatever that may be. We're just going to use that example. Right now is the time to catch the unconscious slaves, because they're selling stuff. You can probably get that $15,000 car for $10,000 cash. As long as you got the cash, they will sell that $15,000 vehicle for $10,000, because they ain't getting it nowhere else. They're not getting it anywhere else, only with people with cash. So you get to buy a car under Blue Book value. You drive that car for another few years, 5 years, and then when it's time to sell, you sell it at Blue Book value. When you sell it at Blue Book value, you pretty much got to drive the car for free, because you bought it under Blue Book value in the first place. When you are out of debt, retail prices no longer mean anything to you. Okay, nothing. Don't ever finance a car. Cosmic says now is the time to sell your house because people are bidding up the price. Sure is. Right now is the time to sell. Sure is. So if you're thinking of selling, do it while this window is open. Oh yeah, right now is the time to sell your house. Dave Bourne says, a couple told me that a mortgage is good debt. I asked him to explain. They replied that the house was a future investment that will be worth more down the line. So debt is worth it. I mean, I've been hearing that since I was a kid. Debt is debt. Debt is not good. Debt is not bad. It's just debt. When you hear, okay, listen, unconscious slaves, when you describe debt, when you say it, when you call it good or call it bad, you can only be talking about yourself, because it's not anything. It's debt is just debt. It's not anything. So if you call something bad debt, that's just because it's bad for you. It was bad for you. And if you call a 30-year mortgage good debt, okay, I guess you're just describing debt that you feel good. You're telling the world that you feel good about that debt. Okay, whatever. You think it's good debt? Oh, that's how you feel about it? Okay, well, I have no idea why you're telling me how you feel about you act like people, when they describe good or bad, they're describing it like a pet. Is that your pet or something? Why are you saying if it's good or bad? Bad debt. Bad dad. Come here, good dad. Come here. Doesn't even make. See how I made it sound like that? That's how stupid it sounds when people say that. Don't do stuff like that, unconscious slaves, especially in public. You're showing, when you do stuff like that, you're showing your unconsciousness when it comes to money. CM Training says, I bought a salvage car, fix it up. It has less than 50,000 miles. Yeah, you don't even, honestly, man, when you have cash, you don't even have to buy salvage cars. You just buy for a quarter of the price from people in debt. You buy from desperate people. You can get some good unsalvaged cars. You don't even have to go cheap and wrecked. And you just go get it from people in debt, especially right now. Right now, if you want a car, right now is the time to get one. Right now. That extra unemployment's about to get cut off. Those unconscious slaves are going to run rampant. They're going to be like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? We got to start selling. Yep. And if you got some money, now they will be looking for you. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Now is the time to get these questions answered for free. Now is the time to answer these questions for free. Any questions? Are you wondering if you're an unconscious slave, maybe? Maybe you're just wondering if you're a slave. There's different levels of slavery in the financial world. There's different levels. There's the totally unconscious, that the ones that just don't care. You can tell them anything. And then there's the semi-conscious that knows something wrong. They know something wrong, but they just can't put the finger on it, right? I guess that's the only two. The next one would be to be awake, I guess. There's only two kinds, the semi and the unconscious. Because I was semi-conscious for a very long time. I'm gonna tell you that. I knew something was wrong. It didn't even matter. I kept getting raises, and nothing was changing. I was like, I remember making $35,000 a year, struggling, and then I would make 50,000, 55, 60, and I'm still struggling. I'm making more and I'm struggling. And then when I got up to six figures and I was still struggling, I was like, okay, it's not the money I'm making, it's me. It's totally me. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Maybe you don't know the definition of a slave. Maybe you maybe you feel you're not ready to come see me. Now is the time. There is no perfect time to come see me. If you start saying things like, oh, I'm gonna wait till after this, or I'm gonna wait till after that, that's just that you're just prolonging it. I'm telling you, you're not doing anything. Excuse me. Gotta drink some water. Gabriel with all that taunting. Is he taunting? Amina says, how exactly do you buy a car off a person with a car note? Well, that's a tricky part. Well, first you got to see how much they owe. Okay, that's different. That's if they owe more on the car than what it's worth, you can't buy it. You cannot buy it from them, right? That's because the bank owns it, right? No, I'm talking from people that may have a little left on their car note. They might be down to a few $1,000s, though the car is worth, 10, 15, 20,000. They might be close, but you got to remember those are probably people that pay their debts on time, right? But now with this whole economy shift, they just lost their job, so they're not even making the money that they used to make to keep up with their regular payments. So now they have to sell. They have no choice but to sell. And there's more people in debt than not. So people in debt, they don't have even if a person say like a person was down to their last $5,000 on a nice car, right? And then this economy hit, they lost their job and everything went haywire. Now they don't have the money, and they've been keeping up with their payments. Now they don't have the money to keep up with the payments, so they start panicking. I don't want my credit ruined, and then they're going to sell the car, right? But you got to remember, in this economy, there's not many people with cash that can pay off and say, hey, I know your car's worth 15. Here, I have $15,000 to buy it from. Not many people right now have that money. But if you're one of the people that do, you can come with $12,000. You know what I'm saying? You can come with, less, maybe less. It counts on their situation. They're gonna do it. They're gonna take it. I promise you. John Smith says, what is the most I should pay for rent? Oh, that's a broad question. Now it counts on where you live, it counts on the area you're talking about. That's a very broad question. There is no, that most, let me see. Amina says, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, when if somebody's selling their car, like a lot of people in debt, they really believe, like the majority of those people that are in debt paying gap insurance and stuff like that, they're upside down in their car anyway, so they would have to pay to sell it. They owe more on the car than what it's worth. So say like the car is 10,000 and they owe 15 on it. It's just they would have to come up with $5,000 to even sell it, and I'm sure they're well over the value of the car. They're upside down on a overvalued. I try to put it in words. It's very difficult to put it in words because they're so messed up in it. It's just like a scrambled mess. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Let me see. John Smith says, I am in the process of paying off all my debts, but I would still like to have a nice place to stay. I am in the process of paying off all my debts, but I still would like to have a nice place to stay. The reason why I'm reading it like that, John, because I want you to listen to what you say, okay? And I'm gonna read it from Debt Free Eyes so you can understand what you said. I have absolutely no money, but I still want a nice place. I still want to have a nice place to stay, even though I don't have any money. It's like if you, and I'm not saying, hey, stay in a bad place, but I just want you to hear what you're really saying. I have absolutely no money, but I still want to have a nice place to stay. Okay, yeah, it's really not an option. It's not like, hey, okay, I have the choice to stay in a nice place. And again, I'm not saying stay in a bad place. I'm just trying to point out something. If we just take your feelings out of it and just do it mathematically, right? Just say it with math. hey, according to math, my finances are in the negative, but I still want to live in a nice place. Well, math will say, well, I know you do, but you can't, because that's impossible to stay in a nice place with negative dollars. Nobody's going to allow you to stay there. See what I'm saying? Mathematically. Any other questions? Oh, she's talking to John. Any other questions why it's free? Any other questions? When I use the word slaves too, for you guys to understand, when I use slave, it's meant for you to feel that. Okay. Not to be offended by it. Just, just be like, man, if I add up all my savings and all my debt, am I in the negative? And it's yes, you're a slave. You're a slave to the lender. That's all. It's nothing. It's not no more than a slave. No more than a slave that everybody already knew. Just say yes. And then one day, hopefully one day, you'll be like, hey, man, I'm tired of knowing for a fact that I'm a slave. Knowing that. Shout out to Michael Rambo for $10 super chat. Anyone else been feeling anxious when LJ starts asking any questions? Hoping someone will ask a question so the show will go on longer. I know, right? I really do I want people to, I don't want people, I don't know if is it me? Do I sound like am I being too rough or harsh? I swear to you, it if you're okay, listen, if you're an unconscious slave and you're starting to get you get feelings of what I'm saying, I want you to understand something. It only feels like that because you don't trust math. If you trusted math, nothing I'd say would offend you. You wouldn't feel any kind of way. You just be like, oh, his math is right. There's nothing to feel. It's like, let me give you an example so you guys can understand. If I said, hey, 4 plus 4 equals 8, how do you feel about that? How would you answer me? Hey, you know what? 2 plus 2 equals 4. How does that make you feel inside? How does it make you feel? If I said that to you, you would look at me like I'm nuts, right? That's the same way when you add your feelings into something like if you know you're a homeowner. I mean, if you have a mortgage, you have a 30-year mortgage, you got to know mathematically you're not a homeowner. You're just not, okay? If that bothers you inside, you got to stop and ask yourself, why does that bother me when it's mathematically true? See what I'm saying? Those are feelings. Then you look back at the feeling. You're like, okay, why are you even here? Because you've been conditioned to think that way. Now, at the same time, we must have slaves. Okay, the majority must think like you. If you still believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage, we need you. That's okay. Hey, I promise you, that's okay too. I'm not upset that if you believe that doesn't bother me. That actually makes the economy run much better. We need slaves. I'm just here to help the people that want help. That's all. That's it. If you're new to the channel, hey man, I got hundreds of videos. That's just to show you guys the consistency. Hey, I'm not. Hey, he must know something. He's got hundreds of videos. Hundreds. He's kicking them out every day, spitting them off right at the top of his dome. No script, nothing. 3 hours? Damn. Get me while I'm hot. Get me while I'm free. Cause man, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. It's blowing me away, man. These questions that have been coming in, as soon as I start asking for money, they just vanish. I'm like, what? Oh, you wasn't serious. Not that it doesn't affect me in a negative way. I'm just it helps me. It helps me with the serious people or not serious people. Good, thank you. You're not gonna write me back. Oh, I'll get back with you, and I don't hear from you. Okay, cool. We just saved each other so much time. We really did. We saved each other so much time. I promise you. Yes, it is. It's a long time, Gabriel. 30 years? No. 7 is the max for me. 7. And even if check this out, even if I signed up for, like, I'm gonna just give you guys an example so you guys can get an idea of it. If I got a 7-year mortgage, right? I would still be scared. Listen, if my mortgage was 7 years and they said, Linnell, you sign on dotted line, you got a 7-year mortgage, I still would be scared that I obligated myself to 7 years to some kind of entity, a bank for 7 years. Let's see. You guys are gonna be in my life until I'm 57? Nah, man. No. No. Amina says I have $17,000 in student loan debt. Should I finance a should I finance a new yacht? Oh, I know you're joking. Ain't that crazy? Gabriel says if LJ would have known this young, he would have been in Wall Street. Yeah, who knows where I would be. Right now, I'm gonna be where I am right now. I am where I'm supposed to be right now, Gabriel. I really am. And trust me, Gabriel, 50 is not old. It just seems like it when you're 19 and 20. It just seems like it's old. No, but you're just young. Okay. It's not really that I'm old. You are just young. Even if you're 30, you are just young. Shout out to Quentin for the $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. Hello, LJ. I understand that there is no penalty for removing money out of your 401k this year. Do you know if that money have to be paid back before a certain time? Is this the same for IR? I think they give you from what I read, they give you 3 years to pay back. If you keep it, they give you 3 years to pay it back and 3 years to pay the taxes back or something like that. If you keep it out, you got 3 years to pay the taxes on it because you still got to pay the taxes on it, right? But as far as if you don't want to get taxed, I believe they give you 3 years to get it funded back in there or something like that or something to that effect. I can't remember exactly how, but double check that. But I know it's a 3-year mark for something on the taxes, I believe. Let's see here. What was the craziest question you got so far, LJ? No crazy questions. No, not really any. When they reach out to me. No, nothing crazy, Cosmic. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just math. They just really people just come up with their own scenarios of the actual same scenario. It's just their version of it. That's it. Nothing too crazy. I stopped. The only time the questions I got is that, like, when somebody comes and reaches out to me, they ask me for a question, and then they said, I heard it was better this way." Well, I said, no, it's not. I know why you're saying it, but no, it's this way. Well, they said, paying the interest. I was just like, okay, man. Well, okay. I just think somebody that pays for a consultation, they just won't do stuff like that. They'll say, hey, man, I'm paying you for a reason because I've seen your stuff. I know you can help me, and I want you to help me, you know? John says, is it better to focus on increasing my income or reducing my debt? Both. Do both at the same time. Do both at the same time. You can. If you do both at the same time, you become free faster. You'll become debt free faster. If you reduce your debt, increase your income, you will become debt free even faster, twice as fast. You won't just be relying on your income. Do both. See? What's up, Johnny Blaze? What's going on? Gabriel, change your attitude. Change your attitude on the free consultation. Sure. Was it Jimbo? No, it wasn't Jimbo. No. You got to remember, like, Jimbo, he's not, you got to remember, Jimbo's just like millions of other people. Okay. He's not, just because the focus was on him and he was focused on, it was just, he doesn't know he's like millions of other unconscious people that believe the same thing he believes. People in debt, unconscious slaves, they really believe that they have money going into a 401k. They really believe that. They really believe they have money going into retirement. They believe that. They have no idea none of that exists. It doesn't even exist. All they have to do is do the math, and they would know none of that even exists. If they would just add up all their savings, add up all their debt, and find out they're in the negative, they would have to stop and ask themselves and say, hey, wait a minute, if I'm in a negative, how am I contributing to my 401k retirement? You're not. You're not contributing to your retirement. You're not. That's exactly. When you do the math, you're like, how am I, where's that money coming from when I'm in a negative? It's coming from nowhere. What are you talking about? It doesn't exist. You're borrowing it. Where am I borrowing it? I have no idea. I have no idea but you are. Fred Moore says the increasing income has been tough but I ain't giving up. We try to reduce your debt too at the same time, man. Surprisingly, if you can reduce your debt, you probably don't even need to increase your income. But if you could do both, that would be the best. Don't get me wrong. Always strive for more. Don't settle for less. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Johnny Blaze for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Watch out for revolving door friends and family. They keep borrowing money from each other and no one gets ahead. Sure don't. Once you get out of debt, it will be easy for you to say no. Because you can't. This is what I want you to understand too. Those of you that are getting close to getting out of debt and whatever, right? When you got to get used to saying no, because if you tell them that you're debt free, they're not going to ask you how'd you do it. They're going to say to themselves, since you don't have any debt, you can let me borrow money because you have no debt. This is how unconscious slaves think. That's how they think. They're not going to say, hey, man, how'd you do that? I sure would love to get debt free myself. No, they're not going to say that. They're not going to do that. They're going to say, since you have no debt, you can let me borrow some money. You have it. You just told me you ain't got no debt. You ain't got no car payment. You said you ain't got no car payment, right? Yeah, right. You said you ain't got no credit card payments, right? Right. You said you ain't in no student loan debt, right? Then how come you can't let me borrow money? See what I'm saying? That's what they do. So you have to say no. Can I borrow some money? No. Why not? Because you're in debt. I'll never get it back. I don't want it to ruin our relationship. I don't loan this is why, I used to hear this all the time. Right? Especially when I was in debt. Never lend family or, don't never lend people close to you money. I used to always hear that. Remember, because it just ruins relationships and blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't. You know what ruins relationships? Unconscious slaves. Don't let people, if they're in debt, they're borrowing. Listen, if they're borrowing money from you, that means they're in debt. That's the very reason why they're borrowing money. So you just say no. It doesn't matter who they are. It ruins all relationships. They just say family and close friends because they're just closer to you. But those are feelings. That has nothing to do with debt. Everybody's in debt. Your cousins, my family, your mama, your daddy, your sisters, your brothers, everybody's in debt, okay? They're borrowing money for a reason. And usually well ahead of time, you already know why they would be coming to you borrowing money. So if they're in debt and they're coming to you borrowing money, ask to borrow money, you say no. How come you can't? Because you are in debt. I would not do that to us. So I'd rather have you mad at me saying no to you than being mad at you because you ain't paid me back my money. I'd rather you just be mad at me saying no, period. Mina says, when I get out of debt, I'm keeping it a secret. Oh, yeah, you can't tell people. You can share with the SMD family. That's about it. You cannot share this information with unconscious slaves. You guys, man, I'm telling you, you unconscious slaves, man, you guys, you have no idea how dangerous it is to be you. You guys just have no, it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous, so dangerous. Man, they just, the things that whoever designed this system, let me put it this way. You guys, unconscious slaves, you're not even going to understand this, but whoever designed this system, I mean, I am hands down blown away that this was once somebody's thought in their head. Somebody had to think of this. There was a human being that said, hey, this is a thought in my head. If I do this, this will happen. That is just mind blowing, man. And when I say not just the physical system that you can see, hey, that's the governor, this is the states, the United States of America, the president here, that's the stuff you can see. Okay, that's the obvious. Who's that? Oh, that's the president. Who's that? The vice president. Oh, that's Congress. They do this and that. The Senate does this. Republican, bloggity blah, all that stupid nonsense. That's the stuff you can see. Then there's the one you can't see. You can't. It's mathematically invisible to people in debt. Slaves. You guys can't see it. It's the side of the system you say, oh, that's why you can go to prison for tax evasion. That's why I never could figure out. It was like when you're in debt, you just accept that you can go to prison for many, many years, right? For tax evasion, right? It's a victimless crime. Nobody gets killed, nobody gets shot or anything like that, right? Nothing happens, right? But you just go to prison for it. Well, it never stopped to wonder why is that penalty so severe? Why are they so harsh? And then when you get out of debt, you're like, oh, that's why. Then it makes sense. That's why you can go to prison for all those years for tax evasion. That's why. Okay. Because you don't have to cheat it. That's why it's so severe, because you don't have to cheat. Unconscious slaves, you guys just don't get it. You'll never be able to see what I just told you. And you semi-conscious slaves, I want you to listen to me. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. You see how I just said that whole scenario out loud? They can't even hear me. They have no idea what I just said, not a clue. What does that even mean? I'm not going to explain it to you. Do you believe in mathematics? No? Okay, then we have nothing else to say. Everything I say makes mathematical sense. If you're a slave and you don't believe in math, you'll never understand what I'm saying. You will never understand it. Even though I'm talking English, it wouldn't even matter if I spoke another language. The language doesn't even matter. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's math. Math doesn't care where you live in the world. It doesn't care what language you speak. Math doesn't care if you're a man or a woman saying it. It doesn't matter. Math doesn't care. Everybody understands math. That's why it's irrelevant. John Smith says, how do I prepare myself to quit my job and become self-employed? You must first get out of debt. You must not look past any part. Don't look past getting out of debt. Don't look at retirement. Don't think about things you should be investing in. Don't think about the age you are. You should be having this right now. You should be having this kind of car, this kind of job, living in this area. Don't look past anytime you look past anytime you look past your total debt, that's a fantasy because you have no money. You're in the negative. So anything past the negative, it doesn't mean anything. You have money to buy none of that. So stop even thinking about it. I'm just trying to just give you a way to think about it, right? This is how you prepare yourself to be self-employed. You start with the business of you. Is the business of you in business? If your finances are in the negative, the business of you is not in business. Your secret is safe with me. What's up, Urban Bros? Shout out to Urban Bros for the CMOS. I'll be putting that CMOS in my protein shakes. Urban Bros BR. All right, Urban Bros BR on Instagram. Check them out. Those guys are vegan. You want somebody you can trust? You're trying to switch over and get some knowledge as you're doing this transition from meat to eating whole vegetables and, just do all the vegan stuff. These are the guys you can trust. Hit them up. You're going to get what you ask for. You're going to get the right information. They're always reachable. Check them out. Urban Bros BR on Instagram. Got my 2 bottles of CMOS. For sure. There you go. Thank you. That's how you find them on Instagram. Check those guys out, man. And what's your other one, Urban Bros? Plant? I forgot the other one. I don't know if you want that this one just fine, or you want to throw up the other one too if you need to. Any questions? Any questions? Give me why I'm free. All consultations are $99, 1 hour. That way we can get on and see if you want me, I want you, see if I can help you. Maybe not, maybe can. Pretty sure I can, but you never know. And I only deal with personal finances only, the business of you, nothing outside of you. No advice. I don't give any stock advice, financial investment advice. I don't do any of that. The only thing I'm doing is talking about the investment of you, the business of you, investing in yourself. Layman for Life, what's going on? Hello, LJ and SMD family. I just seen on Yahoo Sports that the NFL is canceling football this year. See, remember, I've been called. How long ago did I call that, you guys? How long ago did I call that? And I'm not even bragging. That just looked obvious to me. It's like they're closing down businesses and COVID-19 is running rampant. You think they're going to open up football season? I didn't really think that in a million years. So, but I put that on Facebook. Oh my God, these people were giving me just like crazy nonsense crap over there. Oh man, they had the NFL draft. I was like, that's not a game. That's the NFL draft. But see, I don't really feel like explaining that to unconscious slaves. Shout out to Pedro Martinez as a new member. Thank you, sir, for joining. Appreciate it. Click on the playlist over there and you'll see all the members only videos all inside that section. It'll say Life North of Zero, members only, something like that on the playlist. Those are all the members only videos. So thank you for joining, sir. Appreciate it. Canceling football year. Oh, cool. Thank you, Amina. Just follow her. Okay, there we go. There's their other one at on Instagram as well. Plant-based brother _ FAM. I've been knowing these guys, man, a couple years now. What's going on, Urban Bros? It's been over. Is it a couple years now? No, I moved. Well, I left Seattle in last year. Yeah, It's been about a year and a half, maybe. I don't know. Pedro says, I do sea moss, bladder rack, and burdock root. Oh, okay. I've never heard of that kind of stuff. Mix them and put them in a pill. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, L. Marshall says, when you get out of debt, you can see mostly getting anything as possible, especially times like this. Yeah, exactly. When you get out of debt, you could obtain so much. It's Everything is obtainable, not just monetarily, even goal wise. When you guys get out of debt, I promise you something. Goals that you thought were once unbelievable, once unattainable, you will understand that nothing's out of your reach now. Nothing. Only unconscious slaves believe that anything is out of their reach. Only unconscious slaves believe that. They believe that because they're in debt. How come they're in debt? They don't trust math. That is it. That's why they're there. John says, how much debt should I be willing to go into for school? My rule of thumb is this, John. I know everybody can't just afford to go to college, but they want to go to college. However long you go to college, you give yourself a maximum of time to pay that student loan back. So if you get a student loan, because I'm not against student loans, but if you go to college for 4 years, you give yourself 4 years maximum to pay it back. Maximum. Any day, not a day over. Anything a day over, yeah, you're just mathematically messing up. It's already bad enough that you got them. Give yourself a time limit. You giving yourself you go to college for 4 years, 4 years max to pay it back, period. That'll keep you from buying stuff. You're like, man, if I finance this car, that means it's going to take me longer, many more years to pay out back student loans. I better not get the car. Man, if I finance that phone, I won't have the money to pay back my student loan on time in 4 years. I guess I better not get that phone. It'll keep you in order. Urban Bro says he is worth the money. SMD fam, he helped us become debt free. Thank you, sirs. I remember the countdown too. That was cool. That was cool, man. These young cats heard me way back in the day too. Cosmo says you just called that back in March, I think, LJ. Yeah, I know, it was crazy. I said, yeah, and again, I'm not even saying like I'm some projection guru. I just said, hey, wait a minute, businesses are closing down, everybody wearing masks, social distancing. You think they're going to open up the football arena for football? No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That just didn't make any sense. Why would they do that? And then they say, hey, no football season. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Okay, I already knew that. Shout out to Lame for Life for the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Back in March. Okay. Oh, you had I thought you were okay. Would you leave for a minute and came back or what? Wayman Brown says burdock is great for blood cleaning. Oh, okay. Cool. Be learning something new every day. About 2 years now. That's why I figured that. See, they guys start talking that kind of stuff. I'm learning that area. I question, once I got out of debt, I question everything now. I question everything. Everything. My daughter and son said, keep up the good work. Thank you very much, daughter and son. Thank you. Glad you guys getting this knowledge at such a young age. Glad you guys getting it at such a young age. You'll never know what it's like to be in debt, stressing over bills and debt. You'll always have money, always. But you gotta have to be quiet. Okay, I'm gonna teach you guys this while you're really, really young. Okay, I know it's cool amongst your friends right now. You guys are still in school. Okay, it's cool to share their knowledge. Hey, look what we do. We could save money, blah, blah, blah. But once you get out of school and you start going to college, that's going to be different. They're not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing, and you're going to have to be quiet. You're going to have to pretend. You're in debt just like them, okay? You're just gonna have to fake it. I know it's gonna be hard. Oh my God. Yeah, those bill collectors. Woo, these student loans are killing me. I can't believe it. Yeah, you're gonna because you're gonna have to keep those same habits all the way up to your 30s. Yep, all up to your 30s. I know that seems far away, but don't worry, it'll be here fast. And then it's gonna carry on to your 40s. You got to be quiet. Can't share it. You can't talk to unconscious slaves. They're not gonna understand you. So good luck. Gabriel's 19. He thought it was bad now. They're younger than you, Gabriel. Cosmic says sometimes I speak slave talk just to be just to be left alone. What LJ is saying is definitely true. You have to. If you just want to not be bothered, you got to speak slave. See, that's the wonderful thing about us aliens. We know since we're debt free, we can speak both languages. People in debt, hey, slaves, unconscious slaves, you guys only speak debt. You guys believe that debt is the only language that exists. It doesn't. No, there's a language of debt free. But in order to speak debt free, you must become debt free. And if you don't know the language of debt free even exists, aka believing that you can live without debt, you will never. It'll be mathematically impossible for you to ever learn the language of debt free. I want you to clearly understand this, slaves. Okay, you will never understand it. You can't. It's impossible. As long as you continue to not trust math, it'll be impossible for you. It's not impossible. You just got to believe your own math. You know how lovely it is to walk around on this earth as like Neo in the Debt Matrix? You guys have no idea. You guys think I'm joking about that, but I'm not. I'm not. It's true. I walk around in this financial YouTube world like I am Neo. I can spot all the fakers, all the people that are just taking your money legally or illegally. It doesn't matter. I can see them all. I can see all the financial guru fakers. I can see all the fake accountants. I can see all the fake CPA tax people. I can see them all. They have no listen. They have no idea I even exist. They can't see me. They can't see me. Now you're probably thinking, well, you think you're invisible? No, they can physically see me. They can't financially see me. They can't tell by the way I look. They can't tell by the degree I have. They can't tell my background. They can't say, hey, because he's from here, he knows that. They don't even know I exist. They don't even know. That's how I feel like Neo in the Debt Matrix. Now, other SMD family members, we can see each other. You guys don't even get it. SMD family members, we can see everybody. We can see each other. And there's people outside the SMD family that we can see too. Not everybody's just us. I'm just saying in general. We can see each other. We can see you. You can't see us. We can speak a whole different language. Like in the members only, we can speak our own languages in there. We can speak our own language. If you hop in there and you're in debt, you won't understand anything we're saying. Nothing. You'll be like, what is that? Doesn't make sense. Yes, it does. Shout out to Urban Bros for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. We gotta dumb it down and speak debt. But you gotta remember, too, in order to sell, you must know how to speak debt. You must, if you have a business, you really have to finance. You have to figure out how to finance, because if you don't, you're not going to make any money, because slaves don't know that unconscious slaves, they have no idea money doesn't even exist for them. So financing is the only option, is their only option, but they don't know that. Slaves don't know that. They don't know. Slaves don't. You listen, unconscious slaves. You don't know that money doesn't exist for you. Cash, euro, gold, silver, diamonds, copper, or whatever you want. Hey, whatever you think is shiny and pretty that you believe is worth something. If you're in debt, it's not worth anything to you. Nothing. You're a slave. No, you don't get anything. L. Marshall says, people around me are slaves. I'm the weird one. Listen to LJ. Very helpful. Oh, yeah. That's why you got, hey, L. Marshall, that's why you got to learn. You got to learn to speak slave. Else you don't want to stand out in front. I mean, it counts on your day. So, I mean, me, I don't care. Hey, man, I'm standing out. If you want to, don't talk money to me. It's okay. Just mix up with the slaves, right? You can mix them as long as you're not talking about money. If they start talking about money, that's where I'd leave. I'd leave the room. I'd leave. I just skip someone says Pedro says my older account was Pedro. Okay, Geo7. The payments were not going through after I bought my last phone with that go. Gotcha. Okay. John says once I'm debt free, can I tell women how many inches I got in my credit report to get some action with these ladies? You know what? Put it this way, John. It's going to be your dating life is going to be totally different. Okay, you won't listen. Put it this way. You won't be worried about like when you're in debt, okay, and you're looking for women and you're doing this stuff. This is the best way I can describe this to you, okay? Now, I've never had a problem getting women, okay? I've looked a certain way all my life. I kept my body a certain way all my. It was never really a, a, a problem, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. I was missing a piece. You know what I was missing? I was in debt. Now, when you're in debt, this is not going to make sense to you as a man. I don't know any other way to explain it to you, but it is that way, and this is why. You won't have to worry about your clothes, the kind of car you drive. You won't really have to worry about any of that. Okay, that's a facade. Okay, that's if you if you're looking for a woman that's attracted to that stuff, this is when you're debt free. If you're looking for a woman that is attracted to a car or your clothes or your watch, you will, and if you're in that mindset and that's all you want, that's cool. You say, okay, I'm going to go buy this car in cash because I want to get a woman that's attracted to a car. And then you say, cool, you got what you want. You will never mix up the two. I promise you, because it doesn't matter how fine that woman is. If she's in debt, if she's hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt and credit cards and all this other debt, it won't matter how good the sex is. It won't matter how she looks. If she's in debt, you will never take her seriously, ever. And you won't hide it from her. You'll tell her. You'll say, hey, we're not going anywhere. Why? Because you're in debt and you're not doing anything about it. You don't even have a plan for it. You think I'm going to legally tie myself to a slave? I'm not going to tie myself to an unconscious slave. That's how, I mean, that's how you'll say it. If they keep persisting, you'll say, no, I'm not going to get with you because you're in debt and you don't even know it. You will, if I was, check this out. If I was not in debt back when I've always been a confident dude, right? Don't get me wrong. I've always kept myself sure, but I knew there was a piece missing somewhere. This was it. If I was not in debt back then, I would have approached any woman, any woman. It wouldn't have mattered what she looked like, her status, if she was a superstar, if she was not, it wouldn't have mattered. If I was attracted to her, I would just went up to her and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm Linnell. How you doing? What's she gonna say? No? Okay, well, see you later. The only way I was gonna know is go up to her and ask her. If I didn't say anything, I would go home and wondering, well, oh man, what would have happened if I would approach? I would have walked up to her and say, hey, what's up? This is Linnell. I mean, I would have been different, but and if you say, hey, I'm not interested in you, I'll say, okay, bye. Now I can leave with a clear conscience because I know it wasn't going anywhere. How do I know? Because I went up and did it. I have absolutely nothing to lose because soon as the like say like it goes further, I would start talking to, I would just listen to see if she's going to start talking like a slave. If she starts talking about if she starts talking about her car and credit cards and finance and student loans and all that, hey, you're a slave. That's it. We're not going anywhere. Wayman Brown says it's a shame that when people in black families die, it often takes the whole family pitching in order for the funeral. Yep, in for the funeral. They live there their entire life without life insurance policy or savings to get a decent burial, and that's how it goes. But they don't know that. Slaves don't know that. Slaves don't know that. And Mina says, before I started listening to you, LJ, I met a man who paid his rent in full 4 months in advance. Wow. Okay. I couldn't understand why he would do that. I get it now. Right. That's crazy. And that's a sign too. That's a sign that a person is good with money if they do that. If they do that, that means they are good with money. Atticus says, I agreed, LJ. She got to be debt free. She got to be debt free. I wouldn't get with nobody serious. I remember when I used to go to work just to keep up a crap car. It would have been wiser to use public transportation to save. I decided years ago not to take care of things more than I take care of my savings. Oh, gotcha. For sure. Urban Bro says, LJ assisted us in finding a cellular service we could pay for annually, and it's 3/4 less than what we was paying monthly. I forgot I told you guys about that deal, man. You guys, man, tell you what, Urban Bros, I can always tell the people that are serious. When I give them information, I always can tell the serious ones. You always know. Pedro says, I prefer to be attractive by the way I look than my resources. Exactly. The gym alone helps a lot, for sure. As a young man, I'm telling you, young man, you get debt free, your confidence is going to go through the roof. Because this is why. The reason why you won't hesitate to go up to a woman anymore just because of the way she looks, her body, her car, whatever, right? Because you're gonna know that it won't matter what she does or what she looks like. If she's in debt, you know that relationship is going nowhere. There is no, well, you know what? I know she has $100,000 in student loan debt and she hasn't paid it off yet. I know she's going to, no, you're going to be like, hey, what's your plan? I mean, if it started progressing now, don't get me wrong. If she goes, you know what? I want a plan. Can you show me? And you give her a plan and you see her actually doing it, that's different. But if you bring it up and she acts like it's not a big deal or everybody has it, it is what it is, it's forever loans, you already know that the relationship is not going to go anywhere no matter how good it's going. Hey, you guys get along great. You're just clicking and everything's going right. And it's just going to come right back to that question. Hey, I know things are going good, but what you going to do about that student loan debt? What's your plan? If she has no plan, guess what? Guess what the plan is? For you to pay it. If you marry her, you're going to pay it. John says, Amina looking real cute, wouldn't mind pulling her credit report. Pulling her credit report. That's funny. I know those are weird questions, but you know what's so funny is that when you as an alien, that's not a weird question. Because if we are out, right, you go on a date and your date says, hey, I would really like to see your credit report. You're going to know that they know something because you're going to be like, wow, girl, I was going to ask you the same question. Jared says, many women who I dated had the 6-figure income, but had student loans, mortgage, and credit card debt. They resented me sometimes because I had no debt. Resented you. Ain't that crazy? Resented you because you have no debt. Ooh, I tell you, man. This is what I'm telling you guys. If you are in a relationship right now and you're not married, okay, you're not married, and you wake up or you knew something was wrong or you're listening to me and you're listening to me secretly and you can't tell your spouse and you want to get out of debt and you don't know how to say it or whatever, you need to sit your spouse down and sit them down and say, hey, check this out. I'm going to show you something. Don't just say it. Don't just say, hey, man, I listened to this dude, LJ, and this and that. He said, no, you get the numbers. Before you approach your spouse, this is what I want you to do. I want you to add up all you guys' debt, including all of her. You know, you just don't hey, I need to check on your credit score, whatever. They don't know you're going to look at your debt. They're dead. They just think you're going to go look at their credit score. Okay. If you guys are together, it should be like that. I hope it's like that. Put it this way. I hope you are with somebody that you can ask them to see their credit report. If you can't, ooh, okay, this jumped onto something totally different. I just thought of this. Okay, listen. This is how you can tell if you with somebody that you should be with, especially financially. Ask to see. Just I want you to do. Everything's online. Hey, babe, can I see your credit report? If they say no, that's a problem. That's let me tell you guys something. That is a huge red flag. If you cannot see the entire credit report, all three of them, if you can't see your girlfriend or your husband, your boyfriend's, whatever, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax report, the entire reports, that's a big red flag. Ooh, especially if you're with somebody right now, if you with somebody, it, before you exchange vows, you should have exchanged credit reports. This is how you're going to be able to tell unconscious slaves marrying other unconscious slaves, marrying them. If you're with somebody right now, check this out. Listen, if you're with somebody right now, married together, and if you've never seen their personal credit report, that is a problem, especially if they don't let you see it. If you're together, you're together. Okay, you're supposed to be able to share everything, yes, including money. It's in finances, financial information. I'm not saying you shared money, financial information. You say, hey, babe, I'll show you my credit report if you show me yours. Yeah, all three of them. See what they say. I got 17,000, so super cute. Pedro says money buys company, but it can never buy love or loyalty. No. Darkman says, what's up, Ma? What the TransUnion report looking like? I know, right? I'd have one. I would have an updated copy in my pocket. Say, hey, what's up, girl? Can I see your credit report? What, you want to see mine? Yeah, I got mine right here. You want to? I just printed it out today. Yeah, you can see it. There's a couple places that check on the Discord server because Hyphy posted something in there. Plus, you can get all. I mean, you can see two of them on Credit Karma, TransUnion, and Equifax is on Credit Karma, and then Experience by itself. They're all free, so you can go look. You don't even need to get a copy. Just go online and look. Just sign up for Credit Karma and Experience. Before you exchange vows, you should exchange credit reports. Put that on the shirt. Oh yeah. Thank you for saying that, Amina. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna send that to my brother right now. Send that to my brother right now. Oh, he'll love to print that one. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna send that to him. Thank you, Amina. Appreciate it. You guys are giving me, man. You guys are giving me so many ideas coming at me. It's like, whoa, okay, this is what I'm at. That nicer, NC Biggs, Cosmic. You guys are all just throwing these ideas at me, and I appreciate it. And I'm listening. It's just coming a lot at once. I'm coming in a new level. I just don't want it to overwhelm me. I'm not ignoring. I'm not. I just want to make sure you guys understand that it's just a lot coming at me. That's all, and I appreciate it. Okay. El Marshall, the game. That's the game, LJ. Let me write that down. Write that down, man. Straight up. You young dudes, man, you'll be a killer out there. I mean, and this is what I want you young men to understand too. When you get out of debt, you will never take anybody seriously that's in debt. So you will always be honest. You'll never have to cheat on a woman. You won't have to cheat on a woman. You know, you just won't do that. By the time you find the right woman, which is going to be very rare to not have any debt, you're going to know once you find that woman, you know she's going to be a different kind of special because you gotta already be thinking a certain way to be debt free. You have to be thinking a certain way. because you know that's going to be rare. But when you're just dating and they're in debt, it will this knowing that you'll never take a person serious with that's that is deep in debt. You will always be honest. You'll be like, hey, we're gonna date, but we're not gonna ever be serious. Yes, I'm gonna be dating other people. Yes, I'm not just dating you. If you don't want to stop, if you want to stop, please let me know now. You'll be like, we're always going to use protection. Always use protection. There will not be a night that I just don't want to do it or I'm too drunk. That will never happen. John says 17K in student loan debt, not bad, depending on what you majored in and your potential income. That'll be interesting. Forget that, LJ. I'm gonna marry a slave and have a peaceful relationship. Doesn't even sound right. Oh yeah, right. Doesn't even sound right when you're an alien, right? You're definitely not gonna have. Imagine you try to go ahead and defy the rules and marry a slave, marry an unconscious slave. Now they're gonna since you have no debt, they're gonna think you can pay for their debt because you have more money. You have no debt. That would be a living hell. And you're married to him legally. El Marshall says that's the new modern day thing, credit report exchange. You better believe it. Jared says, I respect your honesty, LJ, for warning people about dating others with debt. I've seen and heard many people say they would pay their spouse's debt off. Yeah, I've heard people say that too. Slaves and unconscious, even unconscious slaves, like you'll hear a person pay another person's debt off, but they'll be in debt themselves. Put it this way so you can understand this, okay? I want you to understand something. A person that got out of debt, and I promise you, you unconscious slaves, I want you to hear this, okay? I promise you this. A person that did what it took to pay their debt to get out of debt, I promise you they're not going to pay off your debt. I promise you that. They're not going to offer to pay off your debt. There is no way in a million years that they did what it took to get out of debt. And then they're going to go and pay yours off. That will never happen. Only people in debt pay off other people's debt. And let me say that one more time. The majority of people in debt are the ones that pay off other people's debt, because if you did what it takes to get out of debt yourself, you paid your own debt off. You think you're going to start on somebody else's debt? No, you're not. No, you're not. That will never happen. Just like when you see like, just get on social media, you'll see a spouse or a husband or somebody say, hey, look what my husband just bought me. He just bought me a brand new car. Did he buy it cash? If he didn't buy it cash, he just got you guys deeper in debt with a bow on it. And they just put a bow on the car. And then you put it on social media like it's a present. That bow is a handcuff. You just change yourself to that car. That's why it's wrapped. That's why it's wrapped like that. I know it looks pretty, but it's not. They do it. I mean, you see those Lexus commercials, they always have big bows across they always have big bows across the cars. That's a handcuff. That bow you see on the car, that bow, it's a real bow, but that's for people who pay cash. It's like if you can walk into the Lexus dealer and pay cash for one of those cars, you deserve a bow on your car. That's a real bow. But if you're walking in financing, that's a handcuff. That's a link in your chain for several years. 84 months minimum. And if you're in your car right now, hey, if there's any unconscious slaves listening in their car while they're driving, am I coming through your speakers right now? I'm in the back seat. I'm on the side of you, maybe. Is this car pretty cool? I can't see the car. I can't see. Is it new? I can't even smell that new car smell. I can't smell it. But guess what? If you got student loans and you're making car payments at the same time while you're making student loan payments, your student loan's in your trunk. You have no back seat. Your student loan's taking up your whole trunk and your back seat. Now, I know if you turn around, you can't see it, but I promise you it's there. It's there. It's there. Every time you start that car up, it's there. It's in the back seat. And it's getting heavier and heavier. Any Tesla owners? Hey, unconscious slave Tesla owners. You listening? Am I in that electric free car? I'm looking around. This is nice. This is nice. This is nice, man. This is nice. Guess what? If you finance it, you're not saving money on gas. That's an illusion. That's a trick. That's a trick. You're not saving money on gas. That's a trick. You're probably thinking, yes, I know. You financed the car. That's a trick. That's an illusion. You're just an unconscious slave driving an electric Tesla. You're still a slave. You're not any better than the slaves you see driving gasoline cars. Now you probably look down on a person with a paid off gasoline car and it's like, oh my God, look at that. There's a nobody. No, he's still saving more money than you. And he's using gasoline. I'm getting out of the cars now. Let me get on out. I'm get out here. Hey, just pull over here. Let me out. I know you don't want to hear me anymore. Just let me out right here. Right here. Right here. Okay, cool, man. Later. Oh boy, I be cracking myself up sometimes, man. Be cracking myself up. Any questions? Any questions? Right now it's free. Get it while it's hot. Let me put up my email address just in case you want to reach out to me. There you go. There's my email. If you want to set up a consultation with me, let me know. I can let you know the price, $99 for the hour, and then I will send you an invoice. As soon as the invoice is paid, we can go from there, set up a time, and we get going. Okay. John Smith says, only medical school is worth a six-figure amount of debt in loans. First of all, John, nothing is worth six figures of debt. Absolutely nothing. Okay, nothing. Now, John, I only suggest you do that if you truly believe, if medical school is your passion and you truly are passionate about becoming a doctor, and you did it with student loans, cool, man, you do, because you're going to be a very successful doctor. And then once you become that, you just immediately don't buy anything. You just pay off your debt and you'll be rich for the rest of your life, doing what you love, free. I guarantee you, if a doctor, if I can only imagine, say like there's a doctor out there, and there are doctors out there that are passionate doctors, but they got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of student loan debt. You have the doctor that's passionate already. You can't even imagine the service that you would receive if they didn't have student loan debt to holding them down right now. You guys have no idea. Passionate doctors, they don't even know that's holding them back. They don't even know it. If they knew what they could become, like a passionate doctor that's weighed down by their student loan debt, that passionate doctor has no idea what's holding them back. Right now, it's a student loan debt combined with everything else, living like a doctor. Doctors like that, they don't even know they could excel past every single doctor in the United States of America in their field, whatever they wanted to be. It wouldn't matter. There would be no limits because nothing would be stopping them. Student loan debt is stopping them. Lottery Guru says, LJ, listen to your channel really helped me out, especially dealing with my own mom when it comes to finance. I swear every day it's like she's trying to but put me in debt. Yes. You know what you got to do, Lottery? No. No, Mom. You asked me that last week. The same answer is no. Don't ask me that again, please. Stop asking me that. The answer is no. No. No, I'm not doing that. Why? Because here, let me show you the math why I'm doing it. And each time a person tries to do that, even with your mom and your family, you sit down and show them the math because maybe they just don't understand. If you tell them no, they don't really get it. If you have the time, sit down and do the math and say, I'm telling you no because of this. Here, let me show you. And then you show them. All right, we're coming up on an hour 2. All right, so if there's not going to be any more questions, we're going to cut it off at hour 2. All right. John Smith says, LJ, please don't forget to answer the questions. What questions did you ask me? Let me see. Did I miss some questions? Okay. Aren't credit reports considered private or confidential information? Yeah, they are. That's why only you have access to yours. So yeah, they're private, confidential information. Yeah, they're to you. John says, who has the legal authority to pull credit other than a lender or a landlord? Anybody you apply to, because you're giving them permission to pull your credit report. So when you go apply for credit, they have you sign this piece of paper that says, okay, you're giving us permission to pull your credit report. So you do. So you give them permission. So once you get it, yeah, it's private. That's why you got to ask the person, hey, can I see your credit report? They have to say, yeah, you can see it. You know, it's they can give you permission. I mean, they can give you permission to see it or whatever, right? But if they say no, you just say, okay, well, all right, that's a problem. If you're with somebody that you can't see, that somebody that you've been with for years, and you this is your first time asking them this question, yeah, it's gonna throw them off, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it throw them off. You guys are together. If you want to see the credit report, you should be able to see it. I hope those are the questions you were talking about, John, because I sure didn't miss them. I sure did skip over them. Let's see, because sometimes this thing be jumping. Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions? I know this channel is unlike any other. I know it is, because I give you the answers that you're not going to get answers. You're not going to get these answers anywhere else. And I really strongly suggest you answer during these times, or ask your question during these times, because there's no more. I'm not giving out answers no more for free. I know what I have. I know I will give you the right mathematical answer. I know I will. Whatever information I give you, all you got to do is just believe the math. As soon as you believe the math, you'll be free. If not, if you don't believe the math, you just don't. But nothing is worse than giving us somebody the answer, and then you say, hey, man, did you try that? Oh, no, man, I haven't got around to it. You know why you haven't got around to it? Because you didn't pay for it. People treat, according, according to what some certain things cost, people will treat that item accordingly. If they buy it for $20, they're going to treat it like $20. If they bought it for $500, they're going to treat it like $500. If they paid $1,000, you better believe they're going to treat it with respect. This is for you unconscious slaves, man. I hope you guys wake up. Especially right now, 2020 vision right now. You're not going to necessarily have 2020 vision, but believe 2020 vision exists. Now, I threw this up here to see if anybody wanted to come up and ask me a question, maybe. But here you go. Just in case you're new, click on that link. You can click on that link. You don't have to get on camera. You can just use your voice. You can ask me a question. If you don't feel like writing, you can just get online. You don't have to put your name in there. You can put in a fake name. You don't have to put your real name. You can say you're John Doe, Miss Smith, whatever you want to do. Turn the camera off and ask me the question. That's it. Any questions? Get that long silent pause that Mike was talking about. Coming on the 2-hour mark. Let me make sure over here. I always look on the other side just in case I missed something over here. So let's go live. Just in case. Oop, move that. Okay, I don't see anything. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and end this then. Until next time, see you later.